Hello and welcome to Fake News Now. I'm your host, Emmanuel Pereskiv. The United States government shutdown is finally over. It seems members of the House of Representatives only half followed instructions when told if something's not working, just turn it off and then on again. The reboot of the United States government started with the president signing a bill after getting over $500 billion in funding, in which the U.S. is now able to build a wall to our neighbor in the north. That's right, the president claims that even though he dislikes our neighbor to the south, a bigger threat has emerged in the shape of Canada. According to him, it was about time for us to stop any more United States citizens from migrating to Canada seeking asylum in the form of a higher minimum wage, free health care, as well as a zero-tolerance policy for guns. The wall is set to start its construction early in May of 2016, to which Congress replied is impossible since we are currently in 2019. The president has assured his cabinet that he has hired the greatest scientific minds he could find in order to build a time machine so that the wall would have already been built by now, preventing the shutdown from occurring to begin with. He says as soon as they've completed the time machine, the wall will randomly appear, and people must be careful crossing the border, since they may end up crashing into it. As a precaution, he claims it's probably best not to cross the border at all, just to be safe. Well, the United Kingdom has officially left the European Union for good. After writing their Declaration of Independence, and having it signed by nearly every rich person, as well as the Parliament and the Queen, the United Kingdom is now finally free. In order to disassociate themselves from Europe forever, the Queen has mandated for giant rockets to be strapped to the entire east coast of all land within the United Kingdom umbrella, essentially England, Scotland, Wales, and Ireland, in order to physically push the United Kingdom away from Europe and towards the center of the Atlantic Ocean. The British Prime Minister gave a speech last Friday in front of EU's foreign leaders, claiming, "The United Kingdom and all of its citizens are sick and tired of paying for other people's mistakes, as well as being forced into paying taxes without representation." According to the British Prime Minister, the EU is nothing short of a big bully who takes advantage of the generosity of the hard-working citizens as well as the even more hard-working government of the United Kingdom. And it was about time we stand up and fight for our rights. At the end of her speech, she dropped the microphone, flipped everyone off, and yelled, "Mess with us again and MI6 will kill all of you in your sleep." Animal marriage is now finally legal, at least in the Netherlands. The current Prime Minister has decided to pass animal marriage after a group of individuals have stormed through their local government offices demanding equality. Human and animal relations have been occurring since prehistoric times. In early 1999, fossils of a human ancestor and a velociraptor were discovered together in what can only be described as some sort of Kama Sutra position. Human and animal relations have been going on for years in secret, and the people involved decided it was about time that it was made public and completely legal. It all started with a lawsuit back in 2001, in which a man was caught cheating on his wife with their pet hamster. His wife, who found them in the middle of the act, filed for divorce and opened up quite a can of worms, as the man and the hamster were both not only publicly shamed, but also publicly executed. This sparked outrage from animal rights groups who claim that anyone who is against loving your fellow animal in the same way you love your fellow spouse is a speciesist. The law was passed just last week, yet the battle rages on as gay animal marriage is still illegal. A new group of gay animal lovers has emerged wanting the same rights as the hetero animal group. One such case is Mr. Sanwakovich and his pet cat Mr. Flernishes, translated as Mr. Fluffy. He claims that he and his beloved cat have started their relationship after Mr. Sanwakovich found his cat through an animal shelter website. The Prime Minister and his cabinet are still in debate on what to do next, and a resolution will most likely not occur until later on this year. The CEO of Apple and the CEO of Samsung are creating the most powerful phone, which has the capability of being the world's first true AI. After the merge of Apple and Samsung in late June of 2018, which created a huge boost in the economy, the first order of business was to make the most advanced smartphone to ever be made. This will be the last smartphone ever made, because according to both CEOs, once you have this phone, you'll finally be complete. This prototype is known only as the iPhone XXX Samsung Universe Infinity. They claim the phone will be waterproof, heatproof, dustproof, airproof, fireproof, idiotproof, sunproof, lavaproof, iceproof, pressureproof, gravityproof, densityproof, meltproof, radiationproof, laserproof, bulletproof, electricproof, magneticproof, electromagneticproof, virusproof, hackproof, supernovaproof, blackholeproof, wormholeproof, and of course, childproof. The phone's battery, as well as memory, is said to be infinite. It currently doesn't weigh anything at all, and can be folded at least 1,000 times. The phone is so advanced that both CEOs claim it will make calls before you even think about making the calls you want to make. The same goes for text messages. The phone is so advanced that all the messages and conversations you will have in the future will have been already made in the moment that you own the phone and hold it in your hand. All of your pictures will automatically be uploaded to the 15th dimension and remain there until the end of time. In order to unlock your phone, blood recognition software is installed in which the phone inserts a small needle into your hand and immediately identifies your DNA. The CEOs haven't decided yet how much the phone will cost its users or if people will even be able to afford it at all. But working an entire lifetime for Apple and Samsung without any pay is somewhere in the ballpark of what they're considering. According to a recent study by 1,000 top-tier scientists, global warming is now a thing of the past. The head of the scientific community made a statement declaring that after his last visit to Antarctica with his fellow peers, in which they took a few samples of the snow and ice there, and then compared them to the previous samples from 10 years ago which they had in their lab, the future will be a bit more colder, perhaps even leading to a new ice age. After he made his speech at the yearly scientific conference at CERN, which was broadcasted live on television, the sale of winter sports gear as well as winter clothing have increased almost 500%. Due to the nuclear winter that's nearly ahead of us, all outdoor amusement parks are going to become indoor amusement parks, and construction is already underway. The DEA and the FDA warn of a new drug wave sweeping the entire planet. The drug is essentially a mix of every single other drug, legal and illegal combined. Officials are calling it a superdrug. This superdrug comes in many forms: a liquid form, a solid form, a vapor form, and a powder form, and can be snorted, sniffed, inhaled, injected, smoked, swallowed, rubbed, rectally inserted, and even kissed. The drug causes its user a mix of different reactions depending on the user, as well as the amount being used. Some include, but are not limited to, a sense of being relaxed, a sense of panic and anxiety, a sense of euphoria, lowering of inhibitions, a sense of alertness and energy, hallucination, pain relief, losing touch with reality, uncontrollable laughter, uncontrollable urination, and uncontrollable crying. The sources of the drug are still unknown, but what is known is that it's the most affordable drug up to date. It is colorless, odorless, tasteless, but far from harmless. Its side effects include nausea, vomiting, fatigue, dehydration, dizziness, drowsiness, dry mouth, headache, stomachache, itching, cramping, loss of appetite, blurred vision, constipation, diarrhea, long-lasting erections, erectile dysfunction, infertility, memory loss, skin rashes, insomnia, moodiness, and fever. There haven't been any cases of overdosing, and no one has died or has had major health problems as of yet. However, the DEA and FDA strongly recommend being vigilant and reporting any suspicious activities immediately, even if it's a close relative or friend, but especially if it's someone you don't know or you don't like. Well, these are all the stories we have for you here at Fake News Now. I'm Emmanuel Pereskiv. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening.